that you are well. So, I mentioned this yesterday morning. I'm pretty sure. Which we have students in the house today, so that's why no Parker, because we've got Molly today. I got a house sitting job, which I just found out about on Monday. And so I'm going to be at her house the rest of the week, which means we'll be broadcasting poolside, which will not suck. Just saying. So I hadn't had a chance to tell Molly yet, so she gets to hear that live.
Am I invited to that?
But you can totally come over and do yoga by the pool, which does not stink. Right?
Did I just get kicked out on?
And her pool is gorgeous too. It's set up to look like a reflection pond, not a pool. Yeah, it's lovely, and it has a gazebo at one end, and she's such a kind person. I love her so much. Her whole family are just so amazing. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Kitty Bug. Good morning, Petra. I am in orange. I have this, I'm orange all the way down. I always have to match. This shirt, my friend Iris brought me back when she came back from Mexico. And it says, girls just wanna. And it's a weekend that she went into Mexico, and I love it. So I always wear my orange pants with it. So, good morning, Alicia. Everybody's checking in. So we're going to do a standing series today. Instead of the normal standing series, which you're used to, which we build, which would be like warrior two, reverse, side. It's a little different, but it's still going to be a standing type of series because Monday we worked pelvic girdle, which I'm still tender on my shoulders from all of that. And then yesterday we did pelvic girdle. And so we kind of need to get up off the floor because we didn't even get off the floor yesterday because we got so deep in the hip, which I was still feeling. So happy hump day to you too. So we're going to do some standing, but we're going to start incorporating those things that we were doing in the basics. So yes, we're doing a standing flow, but we're going to change up that duration. So you're going to be holding these poses so much longer. So we have a chance to feel rooted and connected through the feet, especially as we start making some changes to whatever the new normal is. So why am I mentioning that? Well, you'll see in the little caption that I always put below that gives you my donation links and all of that, that Connecticut, I think yesterday was the last state to say that they would start to reopen after this COVID bananas, right? And so we're going to go to a new normal. And we are still trying to be cautious and conscientious. And sometimes with this amount of stress of change, we get discombobulated and we feel disconnected. And so this practice is just to remind us to stop, take a breath, feel connected, and then start again. So this particular practice, once we've done it, if you want to do it again and you pull it up on your phone, would be really good to be done outside in the grass barefoot. It'll really help just dispel any negativity that you're hanging on to, anything. Just let it go. And so, long story longer, we're doing that standing series. I see people are checking in. Yes, my hips talked to me all day about our practice yesterday. Oh, thank you. Everybody's commenting on my orange and my sunshininess. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's very Clemson in my opinion.
Oh, Clemson. She goes to Clemson, so she thinks I'm on Clemson's side. I'm not on, yes, I don't know. I'm not on any other side, so I'm just as happy to be on Clemson's side. I went to Southeastern. We didn't, when I went, there wasn't teams like that, so.
So you're automatically a Clemson fan?
I'm now a Clemson fan.
It's vacuously true.
See, vacuously true. Because you are, I am. And pull you right on in. Oh, there we go. Everybody's signing in. Everybody's letting me know how their body's doing, which makes me happy. All right. I'm glad you're here, Barbara. All right. And it's 9:05, so we're going to get started here as people start checking in. What have we got going on here? All right, channel 13, there's a report that yoga is good for depression. We knew that, right? Yeah, we already knew that. Hi, darling. All right, so let's get started, shall we? Everybody's checking in. One thing at a time. And the chin comes forward. We feel the back of the neck stretch. And then the head comes up, right ear, right shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder. And back to the center. We let the chin come forward, feel the back of the neck stretch. And then the head comes back up. Lifting pelvic floor, pulling navel in, nice, tall through the crown of the head. Find your breath. Set your intention. Now, after we've got that intention set and we check in with the body, we find out how the physical body's doing, that energetic body, that mental body. We're going to slowly open those eyes. We lace those fingers together. We're going to press out, lift up. Tall spine. Nice big stretch. And twist to the right. Tall spine. Really tall through the crown of the head. Left shoulder comes down, right hand comes up. We'll do just a little bit here on the floor before we make it to our feet, giving those folks a chance to check in. And for the rest of us to kind of get rid of any soreness that we have from the last 2 days of practice. And slowly we come back up. When you come back to the center, hands come out and up. And switch to the left. Tall spine. One, two, three, 4, 5. Right shoulder comes down, left hand comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And slowly come up. Back to the center and forward. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Feeling connected to the earth. Lengthening through the crown, just nice long body, lifting pelvic floor. And then slowly we come back up. We're going to change the cross of those legs. Again, working in those hips. Good morning, Tony. Hi, Cindy. Fingers crossed. Everybody's doing well as we... Good morning, Brian. As we start getting into our new work week, as in back to normal, out in public. Full breath. From here, right arm comes down, left arm reaches. Rotate open. Big lift here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand comes up. Bend at the elbow, twist it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unwind and lengthen. And lift back up. Left arm comes down. Right arm reaches. Nice big stretch. From here, that hand lifts up. We bend at the elbow, twist it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unwind and lengthen. And back up. Hands come under. Rotate the shoulders back, lifting the chest up, opening the heart. We lift that pelvic floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we come forward, hands come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands come down as we come up. Backs of the hands come together. Roll back body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And gently release. Nicely done. We're going to put the bottoms of those feet together. Leaning forward. Those hips are going, oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Diana. Nice to see you. Lengthen through the crown of the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come up, knees come up, change the cross, roll the back. So we have crossed arms here, pulling through those shoulders, just this little bit here. And switch how they stack, rolling the back. Did I give you a blanket? Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And gently bring those knees in. Now from here, we're going to roll right over to hands and knees because we've got lots of standing to do. So I'm going to go ahead and use a blanket. I used one yesterday too. So I've managed to hurt both my knees. And you guys are going to laugh your keister off. I did it the same way, different times. So you know in the morning when the alarm goes off, you take your foot and you go like this and you kick the covers off to get up, right? I turned my knee weird to kick off the covers, hurt this knee last week. This morning to get up, I used this leg because this leg was hurt. Did the same thing to that knee. Just kicking the covers off. So it's not like, oh, I was lifting a car off a small child or I fell.
Some other noble cause.
Yeah, right. No noble cause, just kicking the covers off. Ugh. So, yeah, I get it. So use the blanket if you need to. We're going to inhale that spine up and down. And inhale up. Good morning, Mom. And down. One more time. Inhale up. And down. And flat back. Make a C with the spine to the right. And a C with the spine to the left. Back to the center. Now, from here, we're going to allow that right arm to come up. And thread it through. Right shoulder comes down. Right ear comes down. Nice rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back. Left arm comes up. Oof. Snap, crackle, and pop. Left arm comes through. Nice rotation here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shifting back, coming to table. From table, child's pose. Stretch it out. Walk those fingers out. Nice long body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, we're going to inhale those arms up. Goal post your arms so you can open through the chest, collarbones, and throat. And then bring those arms up as we begin to fold at the hips, bending the knees, hollowing that belly, lengthen and down. We inhale up into table. From table, knees, chest and chin, and all the way to the floor. Walk the thighs together. Put the tops of the feet down. We're going to lift that chest up. Nice full breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the chest comes down. We're going to press to table. From table to down dog, bend and stretch it. Feel those calves firing up, lengthening through the back body. Nice long work here. 3, 4, 5. And put those knees down and come back into child's pose and stretch. Now from here, we're going to inhale up to table. Little work here on the floor. We're going to let that right leg kick out, left arm kicks out, left one. Up. Now we lift that left leg. Maybe this is when you go, oh yeah, hips, we did that yesterday. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bend at the knee, grab the foot, opening through the front of the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to gently release. Put that knee down. We're going to switch to the other side as we extend that leg out. Right arm comes up. Lift right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bend that knee. Grab the foot. Open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. Right hand down, right knee down, child's pose again. Really good way for that grounding and that connection that I was talking about. This is one of those postures where you can absolutely feel that. You feel the connection through the feet, through the shins, the palms are touching the floor, maybe your forehead. It resets the spine and back. You get a chance to catch your breath. You can make the knees wider. You can always modify to find some comfort in knees and hips. So we're going to come from here to table. From table, we're going to extend right foot back and try to push through the ball of that foot to wake up that calf. Good morning, Jessie. Good morning, Debbie. 3, 4, and 5. We're going to lift that leg up so we can work the glute a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to bring that knee down. We're going to extend left leg back. We're pushing through the ball of the foot so that the heel can extend. You're going to feel that hamstring stretch. You're going to feel that calf stretch. And now we're going to contract glute to lift leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put that knee right back down. Turn those toes, down dog. Lengthening through spine, filling in lower back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, from there, we're going to step forward. If you're using a blanket, leave it, because we're going to be taking a knee in some of the postures. So we're going to bring those feet forward, fingertips flat back, really extending through the spine. Forward folding, feeling that stretch to the hamstring, small bend here in the knees. We're going to inhale all the way up. And then the hands come back down. And walk it out. Yay, us, we're on our feet. How's your knee?
It's okay.
It's okay. All right, so here we go. Inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Bend the knees. Send the right foot back, grounding that right foot. Now, from here, we really want to feel that connection. We want that right knee over, the left knee over that left ankle, and we're going to press down, and we're going to come up into Warrior One. Nice rotation. Let those hips sink down. Full breath here. This is a standing back bend. Where's your breathing? 1. Grounded through the feet. Feel the temperature and texture of the mat. 2. 3. 4. Maybe you lift and lower the toes to reconnect through the feet. You're pushing through the outside edge of that back foot. 5. Drop those shoulders. Where's your breathing? 6. 7. Smile, lift the heart. 8. 9. 10. Keeping your left knee still. Rotate to Warrior 2, taking Prana Mudra so that you can breathe better. So your thumb goes over your ring and pinky fingernails. Pointing, looking forward, shoulders down. 1. Where's your breathing? Ujjayi breathing is wonderful here if you're not already breathing that way. 3. Grounded and connected through the feet. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Hands open, palms up, left toes turn in. We're in star, hands travel behind. Rotate those shoulders together, link the fingers together, extend index fingers, Kali Mudra, lift collarbones, looking up, forward fold, hands come up. Letting those arms drop over towards the floor. Lifting pelvic floor, pulling the navel in, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down and out through those feet, lifting pelvic floor. Where's your breath? Ujjayi if you can. 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to bring those hands back to the waistline first. Soft bend in the knees as we slowly come up. Let those arms travel up like you're holding a beach ball
right toes turn to the right, we lunge towards the back of the mat. Press that left edge of left foot back and down. Warrior 1. Nice full breath here. 2, 3. Lift pelvic floor, pull navel in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to keep that right leg still. So it's very still. We find our breath. We lift the toes, lower the toes, so we're connected. And as we begin to turn to the left and let those arms drop down for Warrior 2, we don't let that right knee move. We're going to come back into that Prana Mudra so the thumb comes over the fingernail beds of the ring finger and the pinky finger. It's going to help you breathe a little more. It also helps you change the way your arms are sitting. Looking at those right fingers so they stretch through the neck. Nice bend in the knee. 1. Lift pelvic floor. 2. 3. 4. Where's your breath? 5. Feel connected through your feet. Maybe press through that outside edge of that left foot. It tends to roll up. 6. 7. 8. Feel that work. Lift those toes, lower those toes, feel those shoulders, maybe soften them. 9, soften your face, breathe. 10, hands come down. We're going to slowly rotate those toes in, left toes out. From there, we're going to let those hands come down. It makes it easier to make that transition forward. We're going to come to the ball of that right foot, step forward, fingertips flat back. Good morning, Tessa. Good morning, Palacios. Good morning, Vanessa. We're going to inhale all the way up. Hands come down. Move those feet around. Temperature and texture. So you guys can see how this takes on the aspect of the standing series that we normally do. We're kind of changing it up. We're only going to do a couple of postures at a time because of the duration. So we're going to work through Crescent Posture this time, but when we work through Crescent Posture, we're going to take a knee. That's why the blanket's there, so that we have something for the knee. I'm going to inhale up. Exhale, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. We're going to bend those knees a little bit. We're going to extend that right foot back. So I do some trying to make sure that my knee will hit the blanket, which it will. I'm on the ball of my right foot. I'm going to inhale all the way up. Now this is going to feel a lot the same because the last posture we did was that Warrior 1. So the difference is the foot. So we're going to take some arm placements that are going to be different for standing versus on the knee. We're going to challenge some balance. Find the breath, push through right heel. We're going to slowly come forward, allow the hands to come back. And then press to that foot and allow those hands to come up. That's 1. We're only going to do 3 of these. We're going to slowly come forward with control. We're not just flinging those arms. Press down to come up. That's 2. Come forward and hands come back. And back up. That's 3. Hands slowly come down to the floor. We let the right knee place. You can soften the foot here because you were just on the ball of that foot. By flattening it, you get a chance to rest the foot.
From here, we're going to inhale up.
We're going to take different arm placements here because we really want to lengthen and feel connected through the knee and foot. So we're going to goal post arms, looking up. Where's your breath? 1, 2, 3, 4. Really lean in. We're going to 10. 5, 6, 7, 8. Full breathing. Lift pelvic floor. 9, 10. We're going to let those hands come down. We're going to shift back and stretch a second. Maybe you're back to your Ujjayi breathing. And we're going to bring that knee back forward. We're going to slowly press ourselves back up. So we have this nice lengthening here. We want to continue to lengthen and stretch. We're going to do an arm movement while in this posture. Right arm comes behind. Left hand grabs wrist. We're pulling down. But we're going to let left ear come over towards left shoulder. So there's a balance aspect, but there's a chance to stretch through neck and through that right side of the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This movement's only a 5. Release it out. Shift back and lengthen. And back, forward. Last time on the knee here. We're going to come up. Our left knee is forward, so left arm is under. Cross, lift up and over. Looking up towards the ceiling. Now this is a 10 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's your breathing? Lift pelvic floor. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We release. Put those hands down. Stretch backward. Now, how are we going to make a change here? It's going to be easier to make that change from the floor. So we're going to bring the left knee in. Palms down, down dog. And that down dog is going to give you a chance to recalibrate through the hips, through the feet and hands. Lengthen through the spine. Find your breath. Hollowing out the belly. Now we're going to bend those knees. We're going to let that right leg travel forward. Now you're going to adjust. Remember, we want to make sure that when we come down that the knee, if you're using a blanket, will hit it. And then you can kind of adjust up from there. We're going to press down through the foot. We're going to come back up, sinking down into our crescent posture. So we absolutely feel this work. We feel that lengthening through that ankle. Where's your breath? Feel the balance and feel the connection as we flow forward. Hands come back. And it's a control here. We're not flinging. And contract and lift. That's 1. We're going to slowly come forward. Hands come back. Contract. And back up. And forward. And back up. And hands slowly come down. Knee comes down. So find your alignment here. We're going to lift those hands up. Now once they come up, goalpost arms, lifting through the chest, turn that heart up. You can soften back foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's your breathing? Lift that pelvic floor. You're pulling that navel in. 6, 7, 8, 9. Smile. Feel that work. 10. We're going to let those hands slowly come down. Shift back. Lengthen through the front of that hip. Oh, it feels pretty good. Good morning, Randy. Thank you. Good morning, John. So we're going to play with those arms a little bit. We're going to come back forward. Now, from here, we're going to slowly come up. We're going to put that right arm under, left arm over, and cross. Now we're going to lift up towards the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, lifting pelvic belly, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to release that down. Shifting back, lengthen a little bit more. Taking a break. Nicely done. We're going to bring that right foot back. Seems like we did more on the other side, but I can't remember what it was. I'm nice and grounded. So we're sitting back into that child's pose. We're sitting onto those feet. Maybe the knees are wide. We extend through the arms. And we find our breath. And we're going to find that most of the things past the mat start to just kind of float away, especially when we're doing the duration that we're doing. We're not moving as much, so we're not caught up in transitions. We're finding that stride. We're feeling connected. We're finding the breath. And that's when we can really bring awareness to the body, especially if the body's starting to be achy because of the duration. You are definitely in the body. We're going to inhale back up to table. Turn those toes, down dog. Bend and stretch here. Now from here, we're going to step to the front of the mat. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Oh my goodness. And hands come down. Oh. Ooh-wee. That was a lot of work, wasn't it? Yep. She's a queen. All right, so yes, you are right. When I'm looking at the screen here, it does look up like a Maltese falcon. However, because there's this little bit of reflection from, I can see here for you, this is actually a black and white photo of me that's hanging behind this TV. And the TV's here because I had teacher training over the weekend. And it's a impression of images that was done by a friend of mine named Sarah. And it comes down this far, and it's of me where it's blurred. But you can't really see it, but it does. It looks like there's a bird perched on top of my TV. It's not, it's a picture of me. I'll have this TV out of here probably within the next day or two, and you'll see that it's me there. That's from the side. And here we go. We're going to do this next group. Inhale up. Did you have enough time to rest, Molly? There, okay. And inhale up. And exhale, forward folding. Looking at those knees, we're going to shake the head no. Shake the head yes. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. We're going to soft bend those knees. We're going to send that right foot back. We're going to ground that foot. We're getting ready to work through triangle. We're going to cartwheel up into warrior two. And then we're going to straighten that front leg. Now, we're going to do a reverse warrior, but without that front knee being bent. So we're going to let that right hand come down, left hand come up. We're opening this space first. Now, ideally, this knee would be bent, but we're putting it into a combo here. So we're going to stretch. We're opening through that armpit. We're pressing down through that right side, really lifting up. Now, from here, I'm going to start to slowly lower. And as I'm lowering this arm, I'm shifting my hips. I'm bending at this hip crease. So I'm really reaching here. Notice I haven't worried about my back arm yet. So I'm lengthening, and then I'm going to let this hand come down. But today, we're not going to put our hand on our shin. We're going to put the back of the hand on the inside of the leg so that you can't prop up your weight. Still haven't done anything with top arm yet. So I'm going to turn my head and try to look at my right shoulder. Now I'm going to try to stack my right shoulder over my left shoulder. Now I'm going to lift my arm. Full breathing here, hips forward, shoulders back. 1. 2, I heard you guys at home going, holy crap, if we're doing this for 10, I'm dead. Well, guess what? 3, we're doing 10. 4, breathe. 5, hips forward, shoulders back, feel connected through feet. 6, 7, 8, 9, I am counting a little faster for you. 10, top hand comes to hip. Look down at that bottom leg. I can put my hand on my shin if I want to here, just to make that transition of bending left knee. Right palm comes down. Start to rotate. So I'm bringing my left hand to my left knee to maybe help. I'm pressing through to stack shoulders. This is a modified revolve triangle. It's not the full version, it's just a modified variation. We're going to start to straighten that left leg if you can. Your hip may be going, not today. And we're going to lift that left hand, looking up at that left hand, hollow out your belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We allow that left arm to come down. We start to bend left knee. We put left hand down. We bring that foot back. Down dog. Bending and stretching here, feeling the differences between the two legs. One with the stretch, so that left leg feels a little longer than that right leg because of the stretching. Now from here, we're just bending and stretching and lengthening. We're going to also work through the palms. We're using those digits to really grab. We're lengthening through spine, rolling the shoulders away from ears. Now we're going to bend that right knee, let it travel forward. We're going to ground that back foot, taking all the time that it takes to feel connected. Foundation is key. If we don't have that good foundation, we can't translate that up. We slowly start to press down as we cartwheel up. We come into warrior 2. We're going to straighten that front leg, left hand down, right hand up. So we're really opening through that side body. We're just prepping here, lengthening, see what it's like to get some space. And then we're going to start to lean forward. So as I lean forward, I'm pushing back at hip. Hip is pushing back this way, folding at the hip crease, not worried about the left arm yet. As I'm reaching forward like I'm holding a platter, then slowly allowing that hand to come down. The back of my knuckles is touching the inside of that right ankle or shin. Then my left hand comes up. You look at that left shoulder, making sure it's stacked. 1, 2, hips forward, shoulders back. 3, push down through the outside of left ankle. Feel connected through the feet. 4, are you breathing? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Top hand can come to hip. You can grab that right shin as you move for some stability. We begin to bend that right knee. Left hand comes down. You may have to reposition your back foot just a little. We start to straighten that right leg. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. So we get this right leg as straight as we can and let that right hand come up. We're hollowing out the belly. We're lengthening through those arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's your breath? 5. Doing our revolved triangle variation. 6. Look up towards your hand if you can. 7. Straighten it. Hollow out that belly. Push through that back foot. 8. 9. 10. Top arm comes down. Come to the ball of that left foot. Slowly press to come forward, fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands come back down. And rest. That was a lot of work. Check in with me. Are you guys still there? Because my body is like, wah. I see you guys. Hearts, skull and crossbones, something. Oh no, I killed them. All right, so we're getting ready now to move on to our next practice. There's a little time delay, so I'm waiting to see.
Yeah.
Coffee break. Oh, there's Petra. That was not a good place for the video to get stuck. Oh, funny. It may have felt like it was stuck. Funny. All right. So Petra is still living. All right. Ah, here they come. Hanging in there. Yowzas. Yeah, yowzas is right. All right. So here we go. We're going to work our last series. Is going to be side angle, revolved side angle. And then we're going to move it to the floor for Shavasana. So, we're going to bring those feet to the front of the mat. We're going to inhale all the way up. Yep, okay. They're good. And forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold. We're going to soft bend those knees to send that right foot back, grounding the foot.
Should I move the blanket?
I'm sorry?
Do we need the blanket?
Oh yeah, you can move the blanket if you want to. And slowly coming up, warrior 2. Now once we're in that warrior 2, we're going to allow that left arm to come down. Right arm reaches, hips forward. Now we're going to split this one where it's 5 here, 5 hand on the floor, if you can. If getting your hand down to the floor is just not going to happen, then you leave it on the elbow. Remember, there's a space between this shoulder and this ear. Looking up towards top hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if maybe you can allow that bottom arm to come to the floor at your fingertips. Still lengthening through side body. Lift pelvic floor, looking up at that hand. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to slowly pull that arm in. We're going to place right hand on left knee. Left hand on left knee, pushing yourself up, but you're turning the torso. Now that you're here, you've turned that torso. See if you can bring that right elbow around, palms together, looking at left elbow. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 10 here. 4. Hollow out your belly. Make space between your right ear and your right shoulder. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slowly, we're going to bring those hands down to the floor. We're going to turn the ball of that foot. We're going to step back to down dog. Bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Find your breath, checking in with your ankles, your toes, your back. Now, see if you can let that right leg travel forward, grounding it, turning that back foot. Slowly, we're going to come up. Warrior 2, just to get us up. Feel that connection. Right elbow comes down. Left arm reaches over. Shoulders back, hips forward, looking up at left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if maybe that arm can now float down, fingertips to floor. Maybe you can put your palm down, but fingertips would be good here. 1, or that's 6 actually. 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to put that left hand on your right knee. Right hand on your right knee. See if you can push up. You get some height. Left elbow comes to that right knee. Palms come together, nice rotation, looking at that elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Hands slowly come down. We're going to come to the ball of that left foot so we can make it forward. You're hanging forward, looking at those knees. Shake the head, no. Shake the head, yes. Soften in those knees. We're going to inhale all the way up. Hands come down. Yowzas. Wide feet. We're going to bend those knees. Sit those hips down and come into a squat. Should feel pretty good on the lower back. It's going to help us balance a little bit. Yay, good morning, Mimi. We're going to extend those arms forward. Sit those booties down. I know you guys are like, hallelujah, hallelujah. As many props or whatever it is that you need. If you want to lay down and roll around a little bit and then sit up for meditation, no problem. Okay. So from here, we're going to bring those knees, pull them in. Nice little rock from side to side. Arms come out to the side. We're going to drop those knees over to the left. Nice rotation here. We feel the work in the hips. We're going to see if we can extend that right leg out into left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. Bring those knees back to the center. Over to the right. Maybe we can extend that left leg out. Feel that work in the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. Bring those knees back in. Feet come up. Grab those heels. Pull them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. Bring the bottoms of those feet down to the floor. And once we get down to the floor, we're just going to rock those legs from side to side. And back to the center. We're going to bring those arms in, press down through the feet to come up into bridge posture. So it's this nice lift here. There's a contraction through glute. We're trying to keep those legs parallel. Nice lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly rolling back down. Now from here, we're going to extend those legs out, come into Shavasana. If you find that you can lay here for a little bit, but then your back starts to bother you, take whatever modification you need. So put a bolster under your knees, bend the knees, just lay here for a little bit and then sit up and do meditation and do it seated. That's fine too. It's just about getting the body in the right place and the mind in the right place just to sit for a little bit. We release feet and ankles. We release shin and calf. We release knees and thighs. and pelvic belly. We release lower back and navel. Mid back and solar plexus. Shoulder blades and heart. Collarbones, shoulders, face. With the body still, we're able to just reconnect with our breath. Lying in this posture, we're able to just feel that inhale travel up back body and exhale down front body. Smoothing out the tissues, realigning the muscles. We begin to maybe come back to this place. Now, if you're at home and you want to continue to lay here, you do that with your nice long breathing in and out with awareness. Or you can start bringing those knees in, feeling that lower back release as you rock those legs from side to side. Maybe you need to pull those knees all the way in to release the lower back, or roll to right side. From there, we're going to press up to a comfortable seated position. Whatever that is for you, find that space. Allow the head to turn to the right. We allow the head to turn to the left. Back to the center. Hands come to the heart. We remind ourselves of all the amazing things we have in our life to be thankful for. We send out love and kindness, compassion to everyone. We're going to end this practice with an Om if you're comfortable. Inhaling. Bowing forward. Namaste.
Namaste.
Peace be with you.
And also with you.
Go safely.
And so shall you.
And thank you for practicing with me today.
And I say for all of us, thank you for teaching.
Oh, thank you, Molly. Happy, happy, happy. Yay, yoga. So Mimi, you guys, are you guys still there? Because that was kind of rough. So there's a little time delay. Let's see what's happening. There they go. Let's see. Are you guys still there? I think you're still there. There's a time delay, so I'm sending you out big hugs, big love. Thank you for practicing with me. I did go to the church yesterday, and we measured, we marked, we took an account of what's going to be the best in this new post-COVID world. It looks like 10 mats, so I could have a class of 10, absolutely. If we're 12, if we're really squeezing it, but I really was conscious to make sure that's 6 feet from the edges of the mat. We could have more if we had them outside, maybe under the trees, we could do that. But I did go start getting the church ready, even pulled the weeds and made that look nice there. So we are on track to get some classes started there, but I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that in our classes, whether it be the morning or the evening, we're not going to be able to have more than 10 people. And since I don't have an online presence for you, in the sense that I don't have an app where you can pre-register or reserve a spot, it's going to be first come, first serve. So I'm just putting that out there for you guys. Sending you love and hugs. You guys are checking in. Thank you for a very challenging class today. You felt it. Good. Thank you, Barbara. Oh, I love the little kissy pig. Thank you, Alicia. I love you guys. All the information for donations is in that the text box below. Thank you for the cards and letters. Bye.